On today's episode, we have NBA writer Marc Spears of Yahoo Sports. Stay tuned to see what he has to say about the Warriors, trade deadlines, and more. This is Warriors World TV. Hi everyone, I'm Sonia Tydinko, and today I'm here with Yahoo Sports NBA writer Marc Spears. Marc, thank you for being on the show today.
No problem.
All right, so let's talk Warriors. What about their current situation? What do you think they need to do to turn their situation around?
Need to rush the season and get over with. Find some better doctors or something. It's amazing how many injuries this team has had. I can't say in my 11 years covering NBA that I've seen anything like this. Just a team just so battered with injuries, but they're not as far away as one might think. Maybe a change in coach is probably needed. A lot of people probably believe that, but I don't see Nelson going anywhere. But to me, I think, one, health is a major thing. Two, there needs to be somebody in the post that could score. That is somebody they could depend on every night to give them 15 to 20 points a game. And right now, they don't have that. I think Anthony Randolph is going to be a great talent, and Wright's going to be a very good player. But right now, they don't have that. So with each game, you're basically dependent on three players: Monta, Curry, McGetty when he's healthy. Everybody knows what they're going to do. And I think another thing that might help them if they had a stronger mentality defensively. There's no focus there defensively, and when they are focused, they seem to compete much better against anybody. They're always in games, but to me, it's the lack of defense that ultimately always loses.
Do you think that if there was a change in ownership, that it could facilitate what you just said?
Anytime there's a change in ownership, there's always major changes that come with that, because that owner is eager to be successful fast. So I think there is a quiet fear within the organization that could come. Obviously Ellison from Oracle is the guy that everybody's talking about. He has the money to, I think, pull the trigger now, but maybe there's some song and dancing going on. He's trying to get it at a low price. Maybe the economy, he believes, will help him in that regard. But that seems to be the guy that everybody's thinking about. I could ultimately buy this team. But right now, I don't hear anything imminent. It's more talk than anything. But obviously, if he does, I would expect a lot of changes.
Would you expect a change like you said, you don't see Don Nelson leaving, so you think that even if he gets enough wins this season to be the all-time winningest coach in the NBA, he'd still come back for another season?
Yeah, he once told me last year in Boston, when I was in Boston, he said, I asked him why he was still coaching. He said, cold hard cash, baby. That was his exact quote. So I don't think he's going to walk away from $6 million. Regardless to whether he's there or they're going to force him out, I don't think he's going to quit.
Can you tell us anything that you've heard around the league about the Warriors? Give us your inside scoop.
It's funny. A lot of this, it's one of the harder places to play in the league. I'm very impressed by the fans, because in most cities, and I've covered different teams throughout covering the NBA, but the fans are still really loyal. I'm still kind of amazed at how many people actually still come to the games and get excited, because the same thing happens every game. Like, they get behind in late third quarter, they make a comeback, and either they win or don't win. There's always this rush at the end. So the team is competitive at home. But like Rajon Rondo with the Celtics once told me, this is the hardest place to play in the league. I wonder what it would be like if this team was good. So I think throughout the league, they see it as a place with a lot of potential. You have two all-star caliber players in Curry and Ellis. It's just a matter of putting on the
about the rumored trade, or the rumored rejected trade between Monta Ellis or O.J. Mayo and Hasheem Thabeet.
Interesting.
You think it was even?
Well, I heard maybe there was a first-round pick involved that Memphis would send over, which I think would have made it more intriguing. I like Mayo a lot. I like Ellis a lot too. I guess the X factor is Thabeet, and he just recently got sent to the D-League. So it's obvious that Memphis believes he needs a lot of work. If he was here, he'd probably be starting right now.
Well, he probably will get called up, right?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
From us, because we use a lot of the DB.
Yeah, I don't think he would have ever been sent down. He'd be playing a lot here, but that's a really tough one. I've sat and talked with other writers and debated. One second, I think, yeah, they should do it. Then I watched Monta play, and he's a fantastic scorer. He's a better defender. He's one of the in the league. Probably deserves more credit for that. So I think they see him and Curry as the face of the franchise for the future. So why try something new? They've been, you know, they got two guys they could build around. I don't think they're anxious to do that. I think it was more Memphis trying to do that.
Relationship with Curry and Ellis.
I think it's better.
You think it's better? It's getting better?
Fine. Yeah. I actually recently talked to Monta, and I asked him, who do you feel is a breakthrough player in the NBA this season? And he quickly said Curry. You know, I think a lot has been made about what Monta was saying at the beginning of the season, and I think he just remembers that when Baron Davis was here, people didn't think those two guys could play together and two guards could play together. So I think there was more concern. I don't think it was from a jealousy standpoint about Curry. I think they've grown to like each other. I don't know that they're best friends or whatever, which to me is not important, but there definitely is a strong respect there. And when he made that comment about how he believed Curry was a breakthrough player in the NBA this season, to me that showed me how much respect he has for him and how much he likes him. So I think things must be pretty good there for him.
What team do you think made the best trade move before the deadline, and what team do you think was the most disappointing in terms of not making a trade at all?
Cleveland Cavaliers, you know, getting Jameson was huge. Because while Stoudemire might be a better player, I think the thing that Jameson brings, he could score inside and outside. He could take the ball from the wing. He fits in well with Shaq. Fits in really, really well. I think they coexist just fine. But I would say it's disappointing. I think the New Jersey Nets should have did something. You know, New York has now an ability to, after trades, get two max players. New Jersey could have traded somebody to put themselves in that position, and they didn't. They had draft picks they could have dangled to make a deal, and you know they did it. Now I talked to Rod Thorne, the president, and he said that everybody wanted Devin Harris or Courtney Lee or Brooke Lopez, and they didn't want to trade those guys, which kept them from making a trade. But I think there might have been some creativity they could have had in order to make one more trade to help them get more under the salary cap, because I think they have the young players that could make it attractive to a LeBron or a Wade or a Bosh. But you want to make it where you could bring somebody else with you, you know, and they didn't do that. I think they should have did something more.
All right, well, thank you for being on the show, Marc. It's very nice to have you. This is Warriors World TV. I'm Sonia. We'll see you next time.